Cannon tomorrow at 5 on TV5.
From Loveland Lanes in Loveland, Ohio, hello again and welcome to the BPA King of Bowling. I'm Steve Physioc along with Dave Newrath, and today we close our final chapter of the BPA television series, and I know we've got 4 outstanding bowlers in Cincinnati today.
I'm really looking forward to it, Steve. Between the 4 of them, 16 300 games.
Well, Dave Newrath saw the qualifying action yesterday, and it was fantastic right here at Loveland Lanes. Let's take a look.
Yesterday at Loveland Lanes, the scene of our 1984 roll-off to find our king for this year. All the contestants that you've seen here on BPA, King of Bowling, this man, D. Hall, was the leader. 1368. Brilliant shooting all day. Right behind him, Earl Weatherford, finishing with a blaze. His last 3 games, 689 for our second spot on today's show. Jim Vetter, in and out of the top 10 all day long, finishing total 1348, and we're going to see him in our first match. Against this man, Tim Sharp, finishing with a strong 701 for a 1333 series. Greg Lothian in 4th position all day long, needs this strike to make the show. Falling just 4 pins short, 199 his last game. You remember this face? Rick Hensley, our 1983 champion from Delfair Lanes, edging out Bill Heflin by 1 pin. Many of the members of the field didn't fare too well, but everyone cashed today. 34 men competing for the right to appear on today's show. D. Hall, Earl Weatherford, Jim Vetter, Tim Sharp, all of which we'll be seeing today, one of which will be leaving with a check for $1,800. And should one of those contestants bowl a perfect 300 game today, on behalf of the BPA and the Hudepohl Brewing Company, $10,000 will be presented for a perfect game. Big and small, short and tall, everyone had a good time. Some people fared a little better than others. And our guest, celebrity guest, didn't do too well. Vice President George Bush didn't fare too well, but we all had fun. And
I think we're going to have to wait for George Bush to cash his check a little bit east of us in Washington, D.C.
Well, George didn't qualify, needless to say, but we had a great time here yesterday at Loveland, and I think today we're going to have a great time too, Steve. Big games.
Coming up, Tim Sharp against Jim Vetter. That's next on the BPA King of Bowling.
BPA King of Bowling. Brought to you by the Hudepohl Brewing Company, America's great small brewery.
Hey, Dad, what are we going to do this weekend?
Ask the boss.
Hey, let's go bowling.
Hey, look at this line for the movie.
Well, what else can we do? Watch TV?
Hey, let's go bowling.
Let's play jet. Oh, we always do that.
Hey, let's go bowling.
You got it.
All over America, people are saying,
Hey, let's go bowling.
Sign up now for a short-term spring league at your nearby BPA Bowling Center.
It is the season for Ludwig Hudepohl Bock Beer. Every spring, the resources of America's great small brewery are devoted to Ludwig Hudepohl, a true Bock beer. Rich, smooth, dark. Made from deep-roasted barley, matured without haste. It appears all too briefly, and then it is gone. Try it while you can. Ludwig Hudepohl Bock Beer.
The better beers of Hudepohl, Hudepohl.
After 14 weeks on the tour, it comes down to the final 4. And in our first match, Tim Sharp will meet Jim Vetter. And those are the trophies these gentlemen will be going for here at Loveland Lanes. That and an $1,800 first prize. Again, Jim Vedder against Tim Sharp here in the opener. Jim Vedder will lead the way. He's just 22 years old. His bowling average is 201. We were talking about 300 games. This is the only man who is still looking for his first 300 game in his career. He's 3 shy of that at a 297. Opens by leaving 2.
Opening the match with the 2-5, Steve. It's a typical leave for a light pocket shot. Means you're in the area, but you just didn't quite get there.
Picks up the spare, and you hear the applause as we'll now move to Tim Sharp. We saw him earlier, just about a month ago, and he was bowling very well at that time.
You know, was that at Seymour Lanes, a house that Tim Sharp always bowls well in. He's here today to prove that it's not just a one-house bowler, that's for sure. The identical leave there, Steve. In addition to the 2-5, Tim also has the 4-pin. The 4-pin in this case is not the tough pin at all. It's the trouble is chopping the 2 off of the 5 sometimes.
These bowlers have had just a little bit of weight this morning, perhaps anxious to get going. Well, Jim Vedder and Tim Sharp pick up their spares, and we are tied after 1.
Tim Sharp filled the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th frames with marks, while Jim Vedder opened in the 2nd and 3rd, opening the door. We now rejoin action in the 4th frame. More direct. And it worked.
Exactly what you talked about. He did. He didn't hook it as much. Went right to the right of the head pin, and as you would say, every pin doing its job.
That's right, Stephen. Excellent adjustment. It had to be made. Before he was arcing the ball out to about the 8th board. This, much more direct line, perfectly in the pocket. Every pin just looking for a place to get out of the way of his ball. Let's see if he can parlay it into a double. He's got to have it to get going.
Leaves just the 1, but again, he was going for the more direct approach, and it's interesting that you should pick that up, and Jim picked it up just as well because he was sweeping that hook in to start, and all of a sudden flattens out his game, and you can see the success.
Yeah, he's going to have more success with that now. He's going to have to fine-tune it a little bit also, but he's got much better chance with that than he did with the other style of delivery, that's for sure.
Well, we see a great deal of polish, of poise, and also a thinking man's game right there to make the adjustment and to make it successful and to be able to adjust.
Let's see if Tim Sharp can also make the adjustment, because he likewise has been going light. He has.
Tim perhaps taking the instruction from Jim Vedder, seeing the success, coming back with the strike, and as you talked about, the adjustment right here.
You can see it here again. He was looping the ball out considerably more than he was. 9th board. This ball holding tight right around the 12th board. Now going into a great roll. That's a perfect strike. Absolutely perfect. 10 pins in the pit, Steve.
He's had 3 300 games in his career. Again, he flattens it out. And again, he drives it through, and like Jim Vedder on his 2nd opportunity after making the adjustment, he will leave 1 pin.
Well, now both players have to fine-tune their shot on the left lane next time, both of which look comfortable on the right lane. Tim Sharp going a little high with his release, possibly even making an adjustment off of Jim Vedder's delivery, Steve. Seeing that Jim moved inside, went more direct, perfect on the right lane, and then going light on the left lane. Perhaps he adjusted himself and then went a little high.
Just did catch it, and Jim kind of smiled at him, saying, I thought that was going to go straight right on by.
This is great here. From the floor, we're watching the ball roll over. Revolutions, you hear us talking about it all the time. There it is in action. You actually see the ball rolling over.
tell you think those things are easy to knock over. Dave and I were in the back watching the machines turn over, and we were talking about the fact that each pin must weigh between 3.2 and 3.8.
Yeah, 3 pounds 2 ounces, and the legal limit is considerably up there, but 3 pounds 2 ounces is the lowest any of the pins can weigh.
Well, that is the second open frame that Jim Vedder has, but I understand the ABC is trying to make it one formula, like a 3.5, 3.6 pin.
Yeah, standardization. 84 for Jim, having his trouble today. Open frames will kill you. We're always talking about that. Concentration. Get up. There you go. There you go. That'll loosen him up.
Jimbo came back gleaming on that one. Jim Sharp.
Let's take a look at it here. He's going to trust this shot. He is going to go into a roll here. Now the ball, head pin going to the wall, center your screens, coming off, really going to do some damage. Last pin out of there, the 2 pin. Jim Vedder. Hopefully can get started here.
That was perfect.
Tim Sharp is not going to wait around for anybody, and I think he's going to go now.
Again, he's a young man who's really been working at his game. He said he bowled between 10, 15 times this week, just gearing up for this. And then, of course, the qualifying yesterday right here at Loveland. He, too, performed perfectly. And now must contain the pressure that is being applied from Jim Vedder.
More speed. More speed, and it paid off.
He was able to drop that 7. And that was the final pin to fall.
Let's take a look at it here. He went with more speed. He went high before. Now this ball holds the line, goes into a roll. Again, the head pin doing most of the work, coming off the wall, throwing the 4 pin into the 5, and then taking out the 7. Jim Vedder has to start striking. And we'll take one over there.
Over on the Brooklyn side, he sweeps across, but it reacted perfectly as the head pin swept to the right.
He's happy, but concerned. He knows that that was not a really good shot, even though he got a great break. Jim has to continue to throw strikes the rest of this game to keep the pressure on. He's 34 pins down right now with 2 frames to go. Brooklyn again, maybe?
That was heavy. And it leaves the 6 and 10. Should be an easy spare.
We can see it here on the replay. Steve, he's not happy with the shot when it lets go. The ball is going to cross over, but not enough to strike. Just enough to leave him a spare, and it's just about over.
Vedder does pick it up easily. And he continues to move on. Tim Sharp with right now.
Well, I tell you what, though, $500 isn't too bad. He's 34 pins down. His opponent has a double working. It's next to impossible to break down the lead at this time. It's all over.
Sweeps him aside, and Tim Sharp contains that lead and pads it just a bit. He has been there before. He can handle the pressure. He's been on the King of Bowling show in 1977, 1979, 1981, 1983, and now his 5th year, 1984, trying to win that big trophy and that $1,800 first prize.
Mathematically, Stephen, it's all over.
That certainly helps things.
He's getting lined up for the next game. He knows that things are going to get tougher. He knows that he's going to meet this man right here, Earl Weatherford.
You talk about, if we're talking about comedians, classic funny guys on the tour, it'd have to be Earl Weatherford, always with the quick line. I asked him about Jim Vedder's game. I said, what is his weakness? And he says, when I drop the ball on his foot.
That'd be something to bother anybody. Well, $500 for Jim Vedder, super young bowler. He's going to be around for a lot of years, and next year we'll see him season just a little bit more, learn just a little bit more, and he'll be back, no doubt in my mind. keeping score for us today, Greg Lothian. Tough break yesterday. I was out here watching all the boys bowl, and Greg probably threw the ball as well as anybody. Just could not finish quite strong enough to appear on the telecast, but Greg is another great young bowler that I'm high on. He finished 5th, $250. Tom Cushman finished 6th, $150. Just a few pins behind. And there's Chris Woods, $100. Terry Ciccone, $100 for 8th. Rick Hensley, $95, and so on and so on. Everybody made money yesterday.
Well, Jim will be able to pick up his check today, but he will watch as Tim Sharp will continue on in our BPA King of Bowling Final Series Championship against Earl Weatherford in our next game. But Vedder again must close it out here. A chance at a
170. Poor Jim. 160 something, but that's fine. He's a good bowler. He'll be back.
Indeed. And we will come back with our next game. Tim Sharp against Earl Weatherford in a moment.
Many people would say it's impossible to improve on a Hudie, but we've done just that. With carefully selected grains and special aromatic hops. The result, better flavor and a smoother, richer, more satisfying beer. We call it Hudie Gold. No other beer in America is brewed with more expert personal care. Try the new golden taste of Hudie Gold.
The better beers of Hudepohl, Hudepohl.
Tim Sharp, by way of a 225, moves on to play Earl Weatherford in our championship BPA King of Bowling here at Loveland Lanes. But it has been that kind of activity all year long, Dave.
All year long is right, Steve. 12 weeks, fantastic bowling. Let's take a look.
Week number 1 set to bowl against Sharp, who just bowled a 225. Weatherford in our qualifying yesterday is high game 259, series 1346. This is Tim Sharp coming off a red-hot pace he set in game 1. Very fortunate to kick over the 2 far right pins, the 6 and the 10. Very fortunate, says David.
He was. You'd hate to start the game with a split. He was a little high on the head pin. Could have very easily been a split. However, we are going to have a match. Let me set this up for you, Steve. Earl Weatherford, yesterday, his high game on this pair, 235. Tim Sharp, 237. Both bowlers know the pair, and for Tim to open and then chop the spare like that really gives the emotional advantage to Earl Weatherford.
Earl Weatherford is known to fiddle around with and let him take the advantage. 4 300 games in his terrific career. And he will start leaving that 6.
Also goes heavy. Both players, in contrast to the first game where both players went light for the first couple of frames, both times these boys went right through the nose. Take a look at it here. He gets the ball in. He's trying to play 15. That ball hits 16, goes right straight through the heart, as we can see there from our in-the-pit crew.
Oh, my.
Just making the 6.
We may come back to that, David, and say that could be the reason he is a winner, or
that could very well be the turning point. In this kind of match play competition, Steve, we've seen it so many times. It's not how big the game is, it's whether you win or lose. Earl Weatherford finished yesterday with a strong 3 games. 227, 235, 227 for 689. He knows what he's doing. Going high again.
And it looked like he was trying to flatten out his ball as well, just watching our first 2 bowlers, Jim Vedder and Tim Sharp, from game 1.
We can watch it here roll down the lanes, and you can tell that this ball's going to be high. He's not trusting it quite as much as he should. Right there, straight through the heart, leaving the 3, 6, 10.
And the 1 really gives you no help at all.
No, not at all there. Look out.
He's able to pick it up, just hitting the left side of that lead pin and pushing the 3 into the 6 and the 10 and getting it aside to pick up his 2nd consecutive spare. Now, Tim Sharp must do it.
Not the textbook way of making that spare at all, Steve. Now, he may learn something. He actually wound up right in where the pocket would be by trying to shoot the spare, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him play that on his first ball next time. Tough shot. Tim Sharp threw a great ball there. Solid 4-7. We call it the quick 8. Tim didn't finish too bad yesterday either, Steve. His last 3 games to make the telecast, 215, 239, 247.
So he is on a hot streak. He opened with a 225 this morning.
Look out.
Oh, my goodness. 4 kicks around that 7, goes into the alley and sweeps down. And Tim Sharp has 2 spares to open this game 2.
Take a look at it here, Steve. You can see the ball is never going to quite get there. Now, it should go into a roll right here, but it skates out. Does not get enough of the 4-pin. It cuts in front of the 7. Just missing it by less than a half an inch as it goes around. Better shot. Much better shot.
Yes, indeed. Our first strike of game number 2, Tim Sharp. He has shot a 300 game, an 802 series in his career, and it was this year at Waltz Lanes, and a 299 at Glenn Schmidt's. Weatherford with the advantage, 19 pins.
He's growling at him, Steve. Looked like he's growling at him, huh?
You know, he's much more aggressive that time than he was when he started this.
I'm glad you picked that up, and a lot of people at home can pick that up, I'm sure, if you just watch the intensity level and the speed by the players. Now, his first 2 opening shots, you picked it up, Steve. It was lackadaisical, lazy, did not get through the ball. Now there, he just gritted his teeth, reached back for a little extra, and threw a great shot. Let's see how he handles this left lane. Much better.
Oh, all right. He had turned and walked away and was about ready to go to pick up that bowling ball and try and pick up his spare.
This is great. Let's pick it up on the replay here. Low angle from our roving cameraman, doing a great job today. Now the ball, he thinks he left a 7-pin, but let's check it out here.
Jim's got his back turned. Here's the crowd roar. Spins around and says, "Oh my, I guess I did pick it up." Something good did happen.
Tim Sharp is in trouble. I know it's only the 4th frame, but he's in trouble early. He's 29 pins in the well. Needs a couple of strikes to get working here again, but he's got to have this spare. Well, Steve, we have one more chance left at that $10,000. Next game, whoever wins this match will be going against the big gun, D. Hall. 8 300 games in his career. 1 299. If anybody can do it, D. Hall can. Tim Sharp knows that he's having trouble right now against Earl Weatherford, a double up working. Tim just can't seem to find the pocket more than twice in a row, and he can't carry. Gonna have to make some adjustments and make them quick.
Tim Sharp trying to come back. Down by 29 pins. We'll come back with more of Sharp competing against Earl Weatherford after these words.
Laundry's done. Let's go for coffee. Oh, we always do that. Hey, let's go bowling. Why don't we do something different today? As long as it's not fattening. Hey, let's go bowling.
Joyce, now that you're single, you've got to get out and meet people.
Got any ideas?
Hey, let's go bowling. All over America, people are saying,
hey, let's go bowling.
Sign up now for a short-term spring league at your nearby BPA bowling center.
This small drop of liquid is a dedicated brewmaster's work of art.
It reflects a fine, select beer brewed with the care, patience, and pride only a small brewery can provide. Longer brewing time and dedication to excellence mean Christian Moorline may cost a little more, but the price is small for the unique experience of Christian Moorline. Christian Moorline, quite simply, a better beer.
Earl Weatherford with 2 consecutive strikes. If he hits a third here, he will have a 39-pin advantage over his competitor, Tim Sharp. Weatherford, the man who has just taken control, been aggressive, the grizzly bear.
Look at him growling up there on every shot. He's gritting his teeth and reaching back for a little extra, and it's paying off for him right now, Steve.
You know, it's like the fans as well are almost tense watching the action.
Yeah, I picked that up myself, and I wish the bowlers would just relax a little bit, make good shots. They're waiting for something to happen. Everybody here wants to see $10,000 be presented here, but it's the last game. We've only got 1 shot left at it, and I'd like to see it. Tim Sharp wondering what he's going to do or what he has to do to get back into this match.
He's sitting right next to D. Bell, who is waiting patiently.
D. Hall
in that finale.
D. Hall, a friend of mine for a lot of years. He is psyched. I've never seen him this psyched up.
Weatherford putting the hammer down right now. That is 3 of the last 4.
Take a look at Earl here on the replay. Throws one of the best shots of the match right here. Right over the 16th board. Ball turning over right here. Deflecting ever so slightly. Going through the pins. 6-pin. Puts a karate chop right on the 10-pin, and it's out of there. Tim Sharp needs to fill frames with X's. Starting right now. Got to have it.
Well, he does pick it up. So Sharp trying to come back here with a strike in number 6.
Tim doesn't know how to quit, Steve. He never has. We can see it here as he puts his best foot forward, throws a great shot, 17th board, nice tight line. Now the ball going into a roll, no deflection, every pin doing its job, 10 in the pit. We have got a match if he can come out with this strike. Got to keep striking.
And he does. Here on number 7, Tim Sharp. His delivery when the ball leaves his hand has been the same consistent delivery the last 2 times. And I think he's got to feel more comfortable with that. Well, the success has been the story. He is feeling comfortable.
Yeah, he's feeling a lot better. Like I said, he doesn't know how to quit. He keeps working, He's going to find something. Earl is
he going to get it again? No. Earl's trying to beg that one to go down. What he should have done is just turned his back and walked away. Pin wouldn't see him and then fall over.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Earl received a couple of good breaks earlier. That one was close enough to go, but did not. Shooting cross lane for the 4-pin.
He answered. Dave would like to say that the official winners of the recent Bowl Down Cancer Tournament, Cliff Hicks won the men's division for $500 with a 728 series with handicap, and Pat Sunders and Kathy Wolper were the women's division with a 703 series with handicap for $375 each. There you see Earl Weatherford's lead over Tim Sharp here in Game 2, the winner to meet D. Hall.
Corralling at him again, 19 pins. Just gave a few of the 19 back. 6 count. Tough way to come off. You lose a lot of pins. Plus, he's left himself with a tough spare. We can take a look at it here on the low profile camera. He just strictly gets his ball too far to the right. Never has a chance to hook back. Just flat out missing the head pin altogether, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 8. Look out. Oh, wow. Got it off the wall, Steve. Again, not textbook, but effective.
Friday the 13th didn't affect Earl Weatherford at all. He has had a bit of luck here in the second game.
Okay, now watch the 4-pin and the one in the back, the 8-pin. Come off the wall. Right there. Take it out.
Yes, sir. He is indeed a satisfied gentleman. The way he's bowling right now, putting the pressure to Tim Sharp.
Tim Sharp is answering the call, Steve. We've got a match. 5 pins, the deficit right now. Earl Weatherford is in the lead with 5 pins, but this man is coming after him, and he's coming after him real tough right now. Direct, straight, super ball, rolling, pitching, twirling, pins just flopping all over the place like a bushel basket of dead fish rolled out there, Steve.
Well, look at the look on Tim Sharp's face. He's taking a little bit of the bear away from Earl Weatherford.
He's intense. I like it. Both of these bowlers want it. Don't go away. Don't go away. We've got a match here.
Dave, on the first 3 frames, he was changing his delivery each time, and the last 6, that approach like right here, has been just the same each time.
And the release, powerful, perfect pocket hit, going to the wall, coming on, taking the 7-pin out. He knows he's in this match. Look at it.
He will not drop the 10.
I thought he was going to come back with another one like that now. Tim Sharp knows that the pressure's right back on Earl.
That
He
man
likes
has
it.
a 5-pin advantage.
Look at him looking up at the score sheet there, trying to figure out how much he is ahead. 9th frame, important frame. He struck, really put the pressure on Earl. Earl at this point has to strike out in the 10th to put anything on Tim. We can see it there on the score sheet. If Earl takes it to the wall, he's got a 211. That would force Tim Sharp to mark.
Well, again, he is too heavy. Flattens it out. The 1 pin not really having a chance to spin around and grab a few other pins there.
Earl knows this is the critical shot. He's got to have a strike here to have any sort of a chance. Lets the ball go into a roll a little too soon, and you can see the disappointment on his face there, Stephen.
He has the spare, but really he has to ask Tim Sharp to help him out now.
Well, I don't think Tim will help him out near as much as he would like.
There is Tim. He has just been brilliant sitting next to Hudepohl, the man he would challenge. If he can stop this man, Earl Weatherford. It is Sharp. It is Sharp's game to win for himself. Earl Weatherford can only watch now.
Tim Sharp, with any sort of a mark, goes on to the final round to compete against Hudepohl, the man this weekend here at Loveland Lanes, for $1,800 and maybe a $10,000 kicker.
I want to go long. All right.
Oh, no.
I thought that 1 pin would just drive back through there, but it kicked off a little bit to the left and was able to pick up a few pins along the way.
It was a great shot. With a spare here, he goes on to meet Mr. Devious Hall. Earl knows that he is just about over for this year. That's it.
Sharp has it right on. And one of the pins is dropped in the right alley. But Tim Sharp with the advantage right now. Being able to pick up that spare.
I had it calculated wrong before, Stephen. If Earl would have struck out in the 10th frame, I'm looking at my score sheet here. I'm still learning how to add. He would have really put it on Tim. Tim would have had to throw the first ball in the 10th to win. But as it is, it's immaterial. Tim Sharp is our winner. If he keeps it on the lane, and he did.
Not sure where the pins needed. Finishes with a 204 Earl Weatherford with a 195.9. We'll watch Tim Sharp move on to match up against our finalist, Dee Hall, who had the sensational game yesterday in qualifying rounds. Tim Sharp moving on.
It is the season for Ludwig Hudepohl Bock beer. Every spring, the resources of America's great small brewery are devoted to Ludwig Hudepohl, a true Bock beer. Rich, smooth, dark. Made from deep-roasted barley, matured without haste. It appears all too briefly, and then it is gone. Try it while you can. Ludwig Hudepohl Bock beer.
The better beers of Hudepohl, Hudepohl.
1984, Diane Felton, Queen of Bowling, $300. Diane, congratulations. Great bowling out there. On behalf of the BPA, Bo Hudepohl, nice piece of hardware for your mantle, please. Wherever your place is going to be, you're leaving town, and I'm sorry to see you go.
Oh, I hate to leave. It's been great bowling in the Queen of TV while we've been here in Cincinnati. But I'd like to thank the Cincinnati bowling proprietors and Hudepohl and WLWT for doing a great job. I know I speak on behalf of all the women. We really, really do enjoy this tournament, and I hope it continues even though I won't be here to participate. Thank you.
We've enjoyed watching you bowl for a lot of years. We're sorry to see you go, but congratulations. 1984, Queen of Bowling, Diane Felton.
A lady with a lot of poise. She's heading to Colorado. Diane Felton. There is her trophy for the 1984 Queen Championship. Now to the BPA King of Bowling. Men's side, the King. Dee Hall, top qualifier yesterday, opens with a strike. He had a 279 game yesterday, 1368 total to qualify, and he will match up against Tim Sharp, who has been razor sharp lately, to start the first game with a 225, second game pushing aside Earl Weatherford with a 204.
You know, the people that make this show, available to the greater Cincinnati area, the BPA and the Hudepohl Brewery, I just can't say enough nice things about them. They treated me great through the years. They treated the game of bowling great. And here we go, Steven. Last game of the year, $10,000 on the line. But both players open with a strike. I love it.
Wouldn't that be something?
I love it. Take a look at here on the replay. We can finish it up from the pits. This is a pin boy's view of a perfect strike. Ken Rippinger, Andrew Donnelly, Lee Overland, they're all here. Is it two? All the pressure. Now, Dee Hall. It's only one chance left at it, and I really want to give it away, Steve.
There's Dee. He has had 8 300 games in his fabulous career. Again, that 279 yesterday. Hasn't been on TV for 7 years. Tim Sharp picking up the spare.
Oh, it's tough to make the show, Steve. I've said it several times, but Dee has been working on the weekends quite a bit, which did not allow him to actually come out and try to compete on the King near as much as he would like. A strike in the first frame. Can he continue? Oh, no.
My.
Where's that check at, Steve?
He just
goes back in the vault till next year.
You said he started. When last time I was on TV, he had an old mustard ball. He said it was the ugliest thing you ever saw.
Yeah, it was an old ball. Everybody's got their old standby. Let's see if he can pick this up. No, not quite enough for the 4, or too much of the 4, but it was his favorite ball for a lot of years. Dee and I together have a couple of city titles, one in the doubles, one in the team. We share a state team title, and we finished 3rd in a state team doubles one year. Dee and I have been bowling for a lot of years together and against each other. There's a mustard ball.
Did Dee bring that for good luck? Perhaps, as he hits a strike here in the 3rd frame. So Tim Sharp, who opened with a strike, picked up a spare with a strike here, can add to his lead. But this is Dee Hall. That's the way to bowl. perfect ball. There's pin just driving through there and pushing everything aside in its way. Tim Sharp.
There you go. Look, there you go.
Ball.
Thought it looked close enough. Al Catoro over there, he's looking on, cheering the pins down. That's a fine little house, Steve. Check this strikeout on the replay. He trusts it. He gets it out. The ball's been going heavy before. Now he trusts it. Goes into a roll. Head pin, center your screen, going to the wall, kicking off, leaning on the 7. Now the 7's not quite sure. Yeah, might as well fall.
It was that head pin and just the top of it, tipping that 7 enough to make it drop. He has another strike. That is 3 out of his first 4.
Don't go away. We are going to close out the season with a barn burner. I can feel it. Right now, Tim Sharp has the advantage. 22 pins in the lead, but only because D. Hall on this lane in the second frame threw a great shot and left a 4-9. This time only the 4-pin, but right around the pocket, Steve.
Gentleman, a great athlete, excellent golfer. He has had a hole-in-one in his career. He bowls in the 70s, 80s. Golfs, I should say, shouldn't I? If you're bowling in the 70s or 80s, you're not qualifying for the show.
If he ever bowled a 70 or an 80, I think he'd quit. Well, I'll tell you what, as every place we've been every week, we're treated great here. The proprietor, Larry Strouder, fantastic job. Manager, Will Constable, really make us feel welcome here at Loveland Lanes, the last show of our 1984 season. Right there.
Pushes himself back. Tim Sharp, who has been just fantastic in the first 4 frames, as D. Hall.
This is a great shot we have here. Playing further out in the lane than anyone else. Now watch the ball go into a roll. Finishing very high in the pocket. Driving the head pin straight back. The last 2 pins you saw were the 7 and the 9. Double working. Big shot. Identical leave to D. Hall, but from a completely different area of the lane, Steve. Both leaving 4 pins on the right lane there.
Well, Tim Sharp showed us his poise, his savvy, his determination to come back from a 39-pin disadvantage against Earl Weatherford to win it by 5.
And 21 pins to the good right now.
There we see a bit of a smile on that occasion from Tim Sharp. He knew getting a sigh of relief there as he just did kick it aside.
On the replay here, we can see why he signed. Let's take a look. Let's stick a piece of paper between that ball and the pin there, Stephen.
Oh.
What do you got, about?
Yeah.
About 1/8 of an inch, huh?
About as wide as a quarter.
D. Hall knows that he can get back in the match, but he's got to start striking.
Well, I tell you what, when the ball left Tim Sharp's hands, he kind of was a little off balance when he let it go. But the ball doing its job, clearing the pins and pushing the ball to the end.
Well, that's a sign of a great bowler, making that last-minute correction at the foul line. Tim Sharp.
21-pin advantage. Watches D. Hall. And he picks up a strike.
I'll tell you what, Steve, right now I've watched D. Bowl for a lot of years, and he's had some tough times. Every bowler goes through a period where they have some problems. But D. Hall, right now and yesterday, has been throwing the ball as great as I ever have seen him. Watch this. Perfect. In the pit. It's incredible. I love to see one of the older guys. At 33, he's one of the older bowlers in the city, throwing the ball this well.
7 hangs in there. Well, he is a 21-year veteran of bowling. Started when he was 12 years old. 33 now. His average is 216. And here's a look at the last shot that will leave the 7.
He trusts the ball. He rolls it out further out on the lane, allows it to hook back, and you can see the mixing action he gets. But the head pin, rather than helping him out as it does many players, actually threw a cross body block into the 5-pin there, which enabled the 7 to stand. It's a 12-pin match. 3 frames to go. Both players are very close to the pocket on every shot. Anything can happen, Steve.
And the youngster right over D. Hall's shoulder counting up the pins to find out who is leading right now. Our advantage to Tim Sharp. He's our leader by 12 pins. The 7 spun just a bit, but stays aloft.
We can check it out here on the replay as to why. Again, the same mixing action that D. Hall had before leaving the 7. Identical shot, just from a different section lane. Head pin, center of your screen, going to the wall. Now watch it come off. Throw a body block into the pins. There he covers it. Last couple of shots going across lane, he was a little shaky, but he geared it in that time. Loveland Lanes wanted me to mention here that they are going to be installing the new Brunswick armor plate lanes, and they want you to join a summer league and come on out and check it out. 117 to 129, 12 pins, advantage Tim Sharp. 3 frames to go. Both players working on a spare. Anything can happen. It was only perfect.
Boy, he has been tough. First game, he had a 225. Second game, a 204. And this is one big reason why Tim Sharp has the advantage on D. Hall.
You can see it here. Acts just perfect. In the pocket from a good angle on the lane. D. Hall's got to get back in the match. He matches him strike for strike. Now the first player to come off the string is in big trouble.
That was a powerful looking strike that time, too. It swept those pins aside so quickly.
Well,
Tim
Steve,
Sharp.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. Every ball D's thrown has been right there. It's been a great match, and D's score isn't reflective of how well he's bowled. He's got to have this one. Big shot.
There's the fortune helping him out that time. It looked like he might leave 2, and then they were knocked aside.
With that shot right here, D. Hall cuts the lead to 2 pins. He knows it, gives it his best shot. Watch it here on the replay. Head pin again to the wall, come off, and instead of interfering this time, takes out the 7 pin. 2 pins. We can see it on the score. Advantage, Tim Sharp. Going wide, Steve. Leaving the 2 pin, an easy spare, but he loses the momentum and the advantage of a strike. D's got one working. Don't go away. It's a 10th frame game. $1,800 is on the line. Now, we have all sorts of possibilities here, Steven. Really too numerous to mention. But Tim knows his position right now. The only thing he's thinking about is 1 strike at a time, throw as many points on the board as he possibly can get, and then hope D. Hall falters.
Tim led the way in the first game, came back in the second. What will he do here in the final frame? The 7, and you could look at the
unbelievable
expression etched on the face of Tim Sharp. The disappointment as the 7 just simply would not fall. And here is a chance, David, to look at it.
Absolutely unbelievable. Super shot, gave it his best turn. Tim knows that that 7 pin spells trouble.
Oh my goodness. Tim cannot pick up that final shot, finishes with a 196, and now D. Hall can take home the money.
As long as he doesn't hit his ankle. fall into the channel or anything else, he'll be there. Bill advised me he needs a mark. And that's the best mark I can tell. He wanted it. He's wanted it bad for 7 years, and what a great way to come off of a slump. King of bowling.
There's the sigh of relief. Did you see that?
Yep.
He is a chance here.
He was in the pocket every shot. D. Hall, a great champion, 1984. He's the man.
Did it hit his ankle that time?
No. Going to finish out here with a 2-1-0. Tim Sharp is not happy, but I tell you what, it's tough to win. He bowled a great game. He'll be around for a lot of years to come. Just so happens today, this man, D. Hall, is going to be our champion.
Indeed. D. Hall, Tim Sharp, shaking hands. Hall, the winner, though, of the $1,800 grand prize in that beautiful trophy here at Loveland Lanes. The BPA King of Bowling, new champion D. Hall for 1984.
Bowling just for fun. Bowling for the action when the weekend comes. Shake 'em up. Shake 'em up. It's a weekend blast when the lanes are fast. Shake 'em up. We're bowling after dinner, putting on a show. Everyone's a winner, man, you gotta go. Shake 'em up. Shake 'em up. Do it day or night, bowling's out of sight. Shake 'em up.
Sign up now for a short-term spring league at your nearby BPA bowling center.
At Hudepohl, we have made a commitment. We are and will continue to be traditional brewers, first and last. To provide you with the finest possible beer, we're taking more time. We're using better ingredients and traditional methods of brewing to give those of you who know enough and care enough a family of better quality, better tasting beers. Hudepohl.
The better beers are Hudepohl.
We have our new king for the 1984 season BPA championship. It is D. Hall. He was the top qualifier yesterday. We'll talk with D in just a moment, but right now Dave Newrath's got some money to give to our other three gentlemen.
Makes me nervous holding this much money. This is great. Jim, great performance this weekend. On behalf of the BPA, Bo's going to give you your 4th place trophy, and I'm going to slip you a $500 check. Congratulations. Earl Weatherford finished in 3rd place. Earl, you gave us a lot of thrills the last couple of days. A nice looking trophy and $700. Congratulations. Bo Hudepohl presenting our 2nd place trophy to Tim Sharp. $900, and you gave us a rouse there, Tim. Super going. Congratulations to all of you. Way to go.
And now we'll go to Sam Coleman from the BPA, who has the 1st place trophy and an $1,800 check. Sam, I'll let you take care of that. D. Hall, he had the qualifying top round of 279 yesterday, and D, I know you had to be satisfied. You said you've been bowling very well all year long.
Yes, I've been bowling well all year, and I'm just real happy to be here. It's a great feeling.
What do you get to do with the $1,800?
Put it in the bank.
Oh, come on, let's party.
No, it goes in the bank.
All right, D. Hall says he's putting the money in the bank. He's going to take the trophy, put it on the mantelpiece. And D. Hall, the 1984 BPA King of Bowling Championship. Join us again next year.
BPA King of Bowling.